feel it in your bones, can't you? Ladies and gentlemen, let's get it. Welcome to another Game Informer Watch Along. I am joined by Alex Stadnik today, video editor extraordinaire. Sir, it hasn't been too long since our audience saw us, but how are you? How's life?
I'm hanging in there, my friend. It's a good day. We played some Outriders earlier, and now we are here to react to the PlayStation State of Play.
Yeah, buddy. Today is such a good day. This week in general has been very gracious towards us nerds. Unfortunately, there was some bad news with Anthem, but for the most part, it's been very good. I am the other member of the Council of Alexes. I am Alex Stadnik, and we are watching the Sony State of Play today. Sony came out. Sony's had a big week because they announced PSVR 2 that they're gonna make a better
That was pretty
version.
huge, honestly.
Yeah, which I feel like it got a little, not as much fanfare as maybe people were expecting, but maybe that's just VR. So I'm excited. Especially if they have, we don't know, but I'm hoping they have a big name title that can really entice me. But anywho,
I think so.
So PSVR, the Play at Home initiative is coming back. They're offering a bunch of free games. I believe Ratchet and Clank, the PS4 game that was tied into the movie, is coming for free, which is very exciting. I just replayed that last month, actually, or played it for the first time, excuse me, and that's really good. So if you haven't played it, check that out. And now here and then a bunch of PlayStation games are coming to PC. We know Days Gone. We don't know the rest of them yet.
Yeah.
But here we are. Now is time for the big guns, hopefully. So, Mr. Van Aken,
yeah, I hope.
we know there's going to be a bunch of announcements. Hit us with some predictions. I want to hear what you're thinking for today.
Yeah, well, one of my big hopes is that we see a few of the indies. But before those predictions, I want to say Kena Bridge of Spirits. There's been rumors that it's going to be a PlayStation Plus game for March. I'm curious if that comes to fruition or not. Of course, it's the fantasy action game where you're kind of leading these little cutesy minions around. I forget what they're called in the game, but very much looks like my sort of jam. Just a fun adventure game, and I'm hoping we see that coming March, because I could really use a big PlayStation announcement for that. So
I was gonna say things. I would have to check the release schedule, but things as they stand now are pretty sparse in March for us gamers. So anything like that would be very welcome. So
it's like a slam dunk if they could slot it in there.
Yeah, that'd be great. I'm pulling up the release schedule now.
Cool.
I'm not usually one for Pikmin style minion command type of game strategy. I'm too dumb for strategy games, but I love the style of that game, and it was so when we had it on the cover for Game Informer last year, there's something very enchanting about it, and it looks to continue that trend of taking advantage of the PS5 hardware. So here's hoping, man. That's a good one. What else you got?
Yeah. So one of my favorite games is Hyper Light Drifter from Heart Machine, one of the best indie games out there. They announced, I think at one of the recent, it was last year for sure, but a previous State of Play, I believe, they announced Solar Ash, which was their upcoming sci-fi game. It looks weird as heck, but I'm all into it, especially if it's even half as good as Hyper Light Drifter was. So I want to see Solar Ash today. And then the big indie that has been touted for PS5 since their announcement videos and stuff, Little Devil Inside.
Yeah, buddy. Preach it to him.
That game looks freaking awesome. It's supposed to be coming to PS4 and PS5 before other consoles. So I think it's a timed exclusive, but it's an open world filled with these supernatural creatures. The art style is freaking cool. Yeah. It looks like a movie, like an animated movie.
It really does. That's what I'm really hoping to see. I think that's a great call out. We haven't heard much from it since, when was that direct? Was it October, September, or direct? Excuse me, State of Play. I couldn't agree with
September.
You more. Yeah. That style is so incredibly enticing, and I cannot wait for. I would imagine we're supposed to get something, or we should be getting something from that, but we'll see.
Hopefully. Are you excited for Returnal? I see people in chat talking about that game?
I don't know what to think of Returnal. I like the idea of, because it's very much a roguelike, right? Like, you know,
Yeah.
you go through a space, you die, you repeat, that kind of stuff. I love the idea of taking that formula and bringing it into other genres. So I'm intrigued. I wouldn't say it is a day one buy for me yet, because I need to see more from it. But I'm definitely it has my curiosity, definitely. But chat, what else are you guys excited about? Definitely let me know.
I see folks talking about Resistance, and I know
that'd be wild.
Jack was tweeting about Resistance several days in a row last week. So I'm curious if that was, you know, just them looking back in social media posts, or if that was, you know, it seemed very intentional, you know.
Yeah, that's.
So I'm curious if we see Resistance coming back.
Who did you say was tweeting about it?
Insomniac.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I mean, that heat from that studio would be unreal, because they just finished up Spider-Man. You know, we're getting Ratchet. Man, that would be wild.
Right into Resistance, that'd be cool.
Yeah, I really liked that game. I missed the PS3 because I was an ex-boy.
Yeah,
but
me too.
my buddy had it, and the multiplayer was a lot of fun. It felt really good, and with the DualSense controller, oh baby, I'd be in on that for sure.
Nico Noid in chat is saying maybe a new Ridge Racer.
Keep the hope, man. You know what? As long as you're not sad and disappointed at the end of this, hope for whatever you want.
Yeah, why not?
Why not? Here's the one. We've talked a lot about a lot of the stuff that I'm hoping to see. I think, you know, the blog post said they're going to focus a lot on third party, so I think your prediction about the indies is dead on. I think we're going to see some Ratchet, just because, like, we just got the release date. It'd be a great way to follow that up with a little bit, because I feel like we've seen that demo like every time anyone mentions it. Like, so it's time to I want to see more of how that game is using the SSD in the PS5. But
absolutely,
I think people are sleeping on the fact that, and this is my prediction, big prediction for the show.
Ooh.
They are going to announce The Last of Us 2 multiplayer and the PS5 upgrade. Because I believe, and I may be wrong, chat, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe they said the main game would release in 2020, and then they would get the multiplayer out a year later. Now, granted, COVID changes everything. Absolutely, you know, we could be waiting till 2022 for that. But that being said, like, people are hungry. Like, people ate up the God of War PS5 update, you know, when they boosted it to 4K 60 or whatever it was. Like, people would lose their minds over that. Well, maybe not lose their minds. I would be very happy, because I want to go back to that game. That was my game of the year last year. And I feel like an upgrade to the PS5 would be the perfect time to do that, especially if they said you can do that and then play multiplayer on X day. I think that would be such a great moment for fans of that series. So
Last of Us multiplayer, I came into it way too late. Like, by the time it was already dead. I played it in Last of Us Remastered on the PS4, and that was like the last game that I did like actual like custom games in with friends. Like random, like way after it had released, and we would just like keep it alive through custom games. And that is like, it's that like really cool like Gears of War, you know, cover system, like third person, obviously. But that's what it reminded me of, was Gears. But you know, it's like the shell is Last of Us, and you get the cool crafting and stuff like that.
There are few multiplayer experiences outside of PUBG that had me on edge like The Last of Us multiplayer had me. It was constantly so tense, and you had to like really, you couldn't just sit back and relax and watch and play it. Like, you had to have like Game 7 mentality the entire time. Like, and I loved it for that.
Last Coast is wondering what PS5 upgrade we're talking about. We're talking about The Last of Us Part 2. And potentially Last of Us Part 2 multiplayer. People in chat are mentioning potentially that a Insomniac employee in a Discord said that Ratchet might not be in this presentation, which would be interesting. That'd
be bad for our thumbnail.
For real.
I mean, you never know. Like maybe they have their own thing planned. It feels like the right time for it, but maybe
it does.
Or maybe he's just trying to mislead people. But I don't. That feels. I guess maybe I would believe that more than not, just because like that's a weird thing to like lie about, because we know Ratchet's coming. Like you know, unless there's another delay coming, which is COVID era is possible. Gamey Squad said God of War Ragnarok. That's actually my next prediction. I don't think we get a peep from Kratos and the team at Santa Monica.
No,
I don't think so, because I don't think that game has a shot at 2021.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, that's a good point.
If
that game is definitely not 2021.
If we were out of COVID, definitely. You know, if things were back to normal, 100%. But I think my prediction for the rest of the year is we get Ratchet, you know, either on that June release date or like August, September latest, and then maybe Horizon in November. Which I when I was making the shell for this, I looked up. I was like, I don't know why in my head I thought it was called Horizon Wild West, and I was like, it's definitely not.
Starring Will Smith.
Yeah, exactly. So
I want to see more of. There's one more game, Goodbye Volcano High. Do you remember? It had like these really cool animations. It's like a hand-drawn style. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Was it the characters? Were the characters anthropomorphic?
They're all like animals.
Yeah. Yes, I remember that. I remember being on the stream with Andy McNamara, former EIC of GI, and going like, what the hell am I looking at? Like, what is this?
I was so emotional. I have no idea. Yeah. I was like, it's like a coming of age story. And I remember the music was just like killer. I was like, oh, I want to see more of this.
Yeah. Ooh, so. Here's a hot prediction. Eric Conway, our dear friend and mentor, says, my prediction is that they'll announce the Switch Pro. That would be the twist. Absolutely no one sees coming. I think if
this is the place to do it, Eric. Yeah. You're absolutely right. That, and we'll be getting the Zelda 35th anniversary collection in this presentation. They were saving it to just stealth drop it on PlayStation. Yeah. Absolutely. Final Fantasy 16 news. Last Coast says that's possible. Yeah. It's supposed to be coming this year, and it's starting.
Friends, we won't have to wait long. Also, rating pending to T. That brings my Last of Us theory to an end. Let's see.
Yep, pretty much.
Yeah.
There's some very unexpected developments in your future. Shocking events that will change the course of your life.
That last part might have been a hair dramatic, but there's lots of awesome updates and additions coming to the Crash Bandicoot 4 It's About Time experience.
Did you play Crash?
On PlayStation 5.
I didn't. I'm not a Crash fan.
Hey everyone, I'm Lou Stutter.
I like
no shade, but not for me.
I liked it.
I played it a bunch as a kid, and it infuriated me.
That includes 4K at 60
I really liked this game.
triggers.
It got too hard for me at times, so I
let's make this fun.
Kind of fell off.
Picking up where Crash Bandicoot Warp left.
I do want to go. If there was a Crash game that I would play, it would be this one. It looks good.
Entropy, escaping a once thought inescapable interdimensional prison, leaving giant holes in the universe.
And those bombs, good to see you.
Follows a mind-bending adventure for Crash and his marsupial pals.
Custom Alex wants to know if we think there's going to be a special edition console.
I
think it's too early because there's not enough regular edition consoles for everyone.
No,
eventually we'll get one.
But wait until you see him spinning heads in native.
The way Sony is shutting down third parties from making like
with the weight of the universe
dark
on your
panels
shoulders,
for that thing, we'll definitely get like
there's little time to wait on loading
special
screens.
edition, black edition.
The DualSense wireless controllers bring adaptive
years.
triggers to your fingertips, so you can feel the blast of Neocortex's DNA-changing ray gun. Or feel the grip when you grapple a Tana's hookshot.
That would
hold on tight when you feel the boost.
I don't know if that's enough to get me back in this, but the DualSense controller would be very interesting with this.
Looking to get fully immersed in the Crash Bandicoot
I forgot that this came out before the PS5 launched. I was like, why are we spending so much time on this? This makes sense.
3D audio.
PS5 upgrade. I gotcha.
Achieving the infamous 106% completion.
So this is essentially just like a promotion for all the PS5 features and a Crash Bandicoot shell.
Yeah, for real.
Leverage PlayStation 5 activity cards to track your progress and hit your goals.
Turn up the PlayStation stream if you don't mind.
Flashback
Evan1 Sonic is asking.
Boss fights.
but
bet
I don't
Entropy
want
wishes
to
he
watch
had
this out
that.
too much. But
Even bring your incomplete save over from the PlayStation 4 and use the activity cards to get to 106%.
Custom Alex was saying they want a special edition God of
one
War
more
console.
thing. If you own the
I want
PS4
that
version
bad.
of the
Like,
game,
inject it
an
right into
upgrade
it.
option is available. Check out the PlayStation
I mean,
blog
if we're
for
right
full
about
details.
it being delayed
Whether it's your first
to next
playthrough
year, that
or your
could be a
100th,
possibility.
There's no better time to experience Crash Bandicoot 4. It's about time.
Not today.
On PlayStation 5.
all right, March 12th. I think we knew that, but if
Welcome
not,
back,
cool.
Crash. The gang's all here on today's new edition of
Is the
State of
DualSense that
Play.
much of a difference?
We've got some great
Asked
updates
Jared.
lined up for you.
Yes.
It's pretty noticeable.
First,
Pretty
let's check
significant.
out the latest on an eagerly
All right, here we go.
anticipated game coming
Returnal.
to the PS5
Let's do it.
console this spring from PlayStation Studios.
Hey everyone, we at Housemarque are excited to give you this sneak peek at
I'm gonna
Returnal.
refresh. I think you're slightly ahead of me.
In Returnal, you will play as Celine, an Astra scout, who crash lands on an alien planet, Atropos, after receiving a mysterious signal, White Shadow. Players will explore this inscrutable, dark planet in search for answers
This looks
and
cool.
unfold mysteries, which may point to a larger force at play.
Kind of getting some like alien Prometheus vibes.
Yeah.
Dashing and quickly maneuvering your way above and around enemies is key to survival in Returnal.
I think Matt Miller was looking forward to this, wasn't he?
I think so.
Yeah. Obviously, Housemarque is, people love them. I've never really played a ton of their games. Resogun was probably
With the large variety of enemies and the vast
most
number
notable
of
that I
unique
played.
movesets
sure.
each possess, combat situations prove challenging no matter what the circumstances are. Death is only the beginning.
I think the biggest wait and see for me
Every time you
is
die and restart, the
like how
world will
tight are these
change.
controls? Like
The
it
map
looks a
will be
little
different.
loose
Yeah.
right now.
Enemies will appear in
does.
new
But,
locations and
you know,
in
I
different
haven't-
numbers.
I haven't played
so
it
you have
yet.
to think fast and adapt.
Oh, that's a good call out, Last Coast.
Here you can see the
comparing
use
it
of
to
the
Parasite
lightning
Eve a little
alt-fire,
bit.
which is
I
great
see
for
what you're
crowd
talking
control.
about.
This is one of many alt-fires that you can acquire in the game.
Gameplay looks like Recore. Did you play Recore, Alex?
No, I did not.
Me neither.
Well, that was the Xbox exclusive.
Yeah.
It was like AA type of game. It looked cool.
You will stumble across mysterious devices that can grant rewards to the
But I
player.
think the reviews
These
threw
will
me off.
vary from weapons,
Yeah,
consumables,
me too.
and upgrades, and they can completely change.
Although you can probably get it for like
and make
$5
each
now.
cycle
For real.
feel unique.
Or just Game Pass, obviously.
Besides the intense combat, Returnal also has a deep and engaging narrative. We allow players to piece together the puzzle that is the story of Celine as they venture deeper and
It's
deeper
interesting
into
to see
Atropos
them-
and into her personal nightmare.
Come from like 2D arcade to this,
Yeah.
over
That
the course of like 4 games they've released, 5 games.
Definitely a step. Yeah, it's a step up.
In that house, but not fully. They're corroded. Some parts are missing, others seem manufactured. But I can remember the torment, feeling like I was losing my mind. There's no comfort here.
The world
No
seems
safe
cool.
space.
Yeah. Here's a question. As a fellow scaredy cat, Mr. Bandicoot,
Yeah.
I handle scares better when it's space and sci-fi related. Do you feel the same?
Me too. Me too. I don't know what it is.
What is it about that? Is it because they're so like game? Yeah, we can.
I think it's so far removed
Yeah.
from our reality that it's like you can look at it more
Returnal lands on
objectively, I
April
think.
30th, and it's
know.
developed by the talented team at Housemarque.
April 30th. Okay.
Cool.
Next, let's take
Yeah.
a closer look at a high-impact new
Knockout
PS4
City.
game called Knockout City.
Our own
I think.
Marcus Stewart gave a good old preview for this game.
Hi, I'm Josh from Bellin Studios. We're an indie developer based in upstate New York, and we recently announced Knockout City, a team-based multiplayer action game for PS4 where rival crews settle their scores with epic dodgeball battles. Knockout City is easy to pick up and play, but there's a lot of depth here for those who
This looks like it's either going to be
in our 1v1
very
face-off mode,
forgettable
you'll go
or
head-to-head
really
in
fun.
a constantly shrinking battleground,
I,
relying on your reflexes and abilities to
I
knock out an
agree. I'm
opponent.
getting Hyperscape
A well-timed
vibes from
catch
it.
powers up the ball,
A
making
little
it
bit.
easier to
Well,
land
what was
a hit.
Didn't EA also have like a battle royale
Use
that
trick
they put out
shots to
last
lob
year?
a ball over a
Or
ledge
am I
or
making
hook
that
it
up?
around a corner.
I don't don't
Fake
think
a throw
so.
to mess up your opponent's
I mean,
timing
they have-
and
they
knock
have
them out
respawn
before they
there
can
in
recover.
Apex.
Yeah.
When you're in a tough spot
I
with
don't
a ball
think they
flying your
added
way,
them
a
at all.
last-second dodge
thought
is
it
the
was like a
difference
multi,
between
either
getting knocked out and
VR
staying
or
in
like
the
a
fight.
hero shooter type.
Keep your wits about you and
that
outplay
I
your
totally
opponent to
forgot
bring
about,
home a win.
obviously.
I could be wrong. They've been like on a streak of releasing like,
Smaller titles.
yeah.
Let's jump into
Especially on
TKO,
mobile.
our 3v3 mode. Teamwork makes the dream work.
And it was
in
a
Knockout
bombs called
City.
Rocket
If
Arena.
your crew is outmatched, a well
Oh, that was EA. I didn't realize
So yeah.
Yeah, that was just like an arena shooter.
Brawl,
I played
a
it
new
a
map
little
that you'll
bit.
find in
Oh,
our
okay.
upcoming crossplay beta. The special ball
it was a
for
cool
this match
idea,
is the sniper ball, which locks onto targets from
but
far across the
didn't-
map.
didn't offer much.
Wham!
Yeah, didn't hold
You
it.
can take them out
In the
before they
end,
have a chance
yeah.
to react. Beyond special
One of those
balls,
things that on
each map
paper
features a
seems
unique
really cool,
mechanic.
but
In Back Alley
playing
Brawl,
it,
you can
not
hop
so
into a
much.
tube and make
sure.
a quick
Well, I
getaway
hope-
or use them to
I hope
sneak up
this
on your
is-
opponents.
Has some appeal and is well designed.
Caught
Because like
empty-handed,
this could be a good
you
game
can
for like
literally
kids looking
become
for a
the ball,
multiplayer
a
game.
new weapon for your teammate.
Yeah.
Or risk it all. Charge up a teammate, launch them high into the air with an ultimate throw, and they'll land in a huge instant KO explosion.
Gotta get all your
The team
emotes
here
too.
at Velen has been obsessed
Of
with
course.
building this world over the last 4 years. Knockout City is coming out May 21st.
Yeah,
and
the
we'd love your
world
help in our
seems
final
cool.
stretch of
I'm
development.
curious about
Rally your crew and sign up for our crossplay
The
beta at
gameplay.
knockoutcity.com to play early on PlayStation.
how much
See you
depth there
soon,
is, you know?
brawlers.
Yeah, for sure. Join the crossplay phase. He said May
Okay.
21st for actual release. Is the beta going on now? Do we know?
I'll look.
Time for something new. Here's your first look at an upcoming
new.
PS5 game from the team at
Me
Slow
too.
Clap.
I don't know slow clap though.
Close date is February 20th and 21st,
Gotcha.
which has already passed. It's like it says enough money. This looks sick.
Kind of getting like Daredevil vibes, like those fight scenes in the hallway.
Yeah.
Okay.
It reminds me a little bit of Absolver.
Oh, I never played it. Okay. Interesting. I liked
Sifu.
some of the.
That
yeah.
was the debut of Sifu, coming to
cool.
the PS5 console later this year. Now let's get an update on Solar Ash,
Yeah,
an epic
buddy,
new
there you go.
PS5 adventure from Heart Machine.
Oh. Yes.
Here's the deal, folks. Annapurna does not miss, so I'm very excited for this.
Heart Machine doesn't miss. Oh, they only put out one game, but hey, you can still say it.
They're batting 1,000, baby.
Yep.
Oh yeah, this
Hey
looks
everyone,
nice.
I'm Alex Preston, creative director of Heart Machine. You might know us as the team behind Hyperlight Drifter. Today, I'm here to show you the first peek at gameplay for our new title, Solar Ash. Solar Ash is a huge, stylish 3D platformer focused on speed, movement, and fluidity. The game is set inside a giant black hole known as the Ultra Void, which has been consuming everything in its path. You play as Ray, a daring Void Runner who has decided to venture into this terrifying anomaly as a last-ditch effort to save her homeworld. Ray is extremely agile, able to speed across the world with abilities akin to skating. On the ashen clouds, she can quickly cover great distances in our
This
huge
looks
world.
fun.
At its core,
gorgeous.
Solar Ash is a game
Yeah.
about movement, and Ray has everything she needs to flow through the dangerous and unique world.
Oh, I love that. A game about movement.
As you journey to save your planet, you'll find yourself face to face with grotesque and violent creatures. Our combat system is simple, fast, and fluid, built to empower players and encourage flow. As you explore the Ultra Void, enemy encounters will scale to
Oh, this
greater
looks
and
so
greater
cool.
sizes. Some of these creatures require speed and precise timing to defeat. Ray will eventually need to face the massive sentinels of this void.
Oh, cool.
Wretched, starved beasts that hold the key to her quest.
Are you looking at the dragon right now?
Yep. Like
Oh,
little
sick.
Shadow of the Colossus vibes a little bit.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm like a second behind you.
Oh, you're good.
Dang, that
Solar
was
Ash
cool.
is Heart
Yeah,
Machine's
this
vision of
is
the adventure platformer.
my hype for
The
this is
giant
shot up.
spaces, the feel
that
of
color
movement, the
palette,
flow
too.
of combat, and the
this
high-stakes
looks so
battles
good.
atop enormous beasts all come together to bring players something we think is incredibly unique and, more importantly, fun.
Yeah.
I like fun.
This game is a labor of love for everyone on the Heart
Cool.
Machine team.
I'm sold.
Yep.
We're excited to bring Solar Ash to
Can't wait to
PS5
try
and
it.
PS4 later this year.
Oh, let's see. They're gonna do this the entire show. They're gonna keep saying later this year. Oh, I want games.
Come on.
If you're a fan
I
of
was
scary
hoping
games,
June.
this
Yeah.
next one is for you.
July.
Yeah.
When
Ooh.
I first
No, thank
found
you.
You were nothing.
Oh.
You were small, pathetic. But now, you are more.
Not like this.
Are you ready?
This is Five Nights at Freddy's. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. Won't be playing this.
Careful. You may be for work.
Oh no!
Because I'm not. We'll have to fight it out. Who's
we can get you out of here. You and me together.
Damn, they've overblown it quite a bit since the first
They
one.
won't stop hunting
Yeah.
you. None of them will stop
I mean, it looks
hunting you.
cool. Don't get me wrong.
We have to get you out by morning.
Like, what a fun idea. Being set in like a shopping mall.
You will do as I say. You will bring me what I want. And if you fail me,
Oh my god.
you will. Both of you burn!
I think it's the first time we've seen anything substantive for that.
There is more going on
Yeah.
here than you realize.
Yikes. Yeah, it's a big nope from Mr. Van Aken and I.
That was a
Brian
chilling
wants to know
new
how many
look
years
at
has Five Nights at Freddy's been running?
Freddy's
Like-
security breach.
Going on probably like 10.
Yeah, I remember
Up
playing
next,
the first
let's
game.
take a tour of Oddworld
2012,
Soulstorm.
maybe? Yo, Oddworld, I feel like I see it
Hi,
every
I'm
press
Lauren Lanning,
conference,
creative
and I never
director
know when it's
at
coming
Oddworld
out.
Inhabitants.
Yeah.
Today, I'm going to take you on a brief tour of our newest game, Oddworld Soulstorm.
They've always known you would come. Do you know why you have?
In Soulstorm, you reprise the role of Abe, accidental hero turned unlikely leader of an emerging revolution, as you do battle through weird and wonderful environments in an effort to escape the all-powerful
I want to say Jeff
and
Cork is a
eternally
big fan
greedy
of
Gluckins.
Oddworld.
And I think Mr. Juba
We
as
really
well.
wanted to bring this
Yeah.
world to life with what we call 2.9D platforming, which adds much more depth and immersion for the player. This sense of connection is also
2.9D?
reinforced through the use of the
Yeah.
DualSense's haptic feedback, as you'll now be able to feel Abe's heartbeat in high alert and suspenseful situations.
That's cool.
There are well over
I like that,
1,000
like
fellow
stealth
Wadakans
mechanics.
that you must try to save along the way. But they are far more than helpless workers looking to be saved. When used effectively, you'll be able to solve puzzles, harness their combined energy, and be given the tools they need to fight alongside you. And there will be times when the extra hands will be needed as you face off against an array of heavily armed enemies that will stop at nothing to find and end Abe once and for all. In order to stand a chance against this much larger threat, we gave Abe the ability to scavenge, loot, and pickpocket items from his surroundings and use them to craft an impressive
How you feeling
arsenal of
so
his
far
own
about
that he can share with
Oddworld?
others.
Totally.
You can also play as a non-lethal pacifist
wheelhouse.
or an agent of chaos.
Yeah,
we wanted
I feel
you
like
to have the
it
choice.
would be if
But there is one
the art
iconic
style just
ability
isn't
for our
necessarily good for
shamanic
me.
protagonist,
I know
possession.
I know it's kind
This
of
mystical power allows you to take
a legacy
control
at this
of your
point, you
foes
know,
and use
so
their
they can't really
strengths and
change it,
weapons against them,
but-
or use them to gain access to paths still ahead.
Chat, how do you guys feel about this?
The Oddworld
like
universe is a
gameplay-wise,
diverse
I would
place,
enjoy it,
and this
you know, like
means that
there's
there
a
are
lot
some
of
environments
really
and
fun 2D
situations
puzzles.
that require a little
Some of them
more
have
thought,
reminded me of
patience,
Inside.
and stealth.
Oh yeah.
You'll find dark and dangerous caves, heavily guarded industrial sites, and ancient forgotten lands.
Yeah, I like the 2.9D.
Here we've built lots of
or
opportunities for you to
whatever, but
test your skills and find different ways to
I
handle
have
things.
no cachet on.
It won't be
on,
easy.
Abe
If being
and
hunted by an
Oddworld.
army backed by a shady and wealthy
I
organization
want to know why
isn't bad
his mouth
enough.
is sewn shut.
There are
That's got
also
me,
more
yeah,
dangers
you
in the
curious?
forms
There
of
he is.
natural obstacles, ancient traps, trials against
I probably have to go back and play like the
creatures,
PS2
and
game
industrial hazards that must
or
be
Xbox
dodged,
game rather.
Or
crossed,
chat,
and
yeah.
avoided.
Let us know why his mouth is sewn
Ultimately,
shut.
Abe's journey
Unless
is one
it's a
of
huge
hope,
spoiler,
freedom,
then no.
and truth. There's a rich and engaging narrative to discover in a world full of lies.
Well,
And
that
we've
was
been
not-
able to bring our characters
Oh,
to life
okay.
like never before. In true Oddworld fashion, your actions in-game will decide the fate of Abe and all those you manage to liberate along the way. And we can't wait to see what you will do.
April 6th. Did we know
I'm so
that?
curious how that. I don't know. To be honest, I haven't paid too much attention to this one.
For sure.
I'm curious how it's gonna sell
Yeah, if it's
because there's not much.
That was the
I guess
latest
April
on
1st is
Oddworld
Outriders,
Soulstorm.
though. Ooh.
And here's some exciting news. Active
that
PlayStation
might not
Plus
be good
members
for
will get the
Oddworld.
PS5 version for
Guess
no
we'll
extra
see.
cost starting in April. PS5 version for no extra cost starting in April.
There we go. Ah, here we go.
Moving on. It's time to catch
Oh,
up with
yes.
Kena Bridge of Spirits, a gorgeous new adventure we last saw.
My
in
prediction's
June
gonna come
PS5
true, I feel it.
showcase.
Kena Bridge of Spirits, right? Not Kenna. I always thought it was Kenna. Oh, he's so cute.
Yes, he is. I would die for him. Isn't it two brothers that are working on this?
I believe so. I think
Right.
they're a small team. If not just them, I know it's a small team.
Yeah. I want to say they have like film
Something tells
experience.
me you did not come to
I think
our
you're right.
village looking for forest creatures.
Hello, Spirit. I seek passage to the Sacred Mountain Shrine.
Our village is bound to the shrine's energy. But that power faded long ago.
Okay, a little bit more combat here.
Ooh, yep.
The lighting looks so good.
Dude, I'm stoked for this.
Trapped spirits linger here.
It looks so good.
It looks like,
Tangled in the
either a
tragedies
Pixar or
of the
like a
past.
Disney animation studio.
Yeah.
Like joint.
You must help these spirits if you wish to reach the mountain shrine.
It's okay. You have to go now.
Desaturated color. Interesting. Oh, this looks cool, man. Looks cool.
This land can be hid, but you cannot stay here, Spirit. You must move on.
All right, yeah, I'm hyped.
This
Give
sold-
me this. Give me the release
yeah,
date.
I
now.
was already excited. This has sold me.
Yeah. Give me the release date. Oh no! Oh no!
Oh!
Oh god, no!
Oh, that poor little gnome.
No. That's
Okay.
that's awful. Woo! Come on, give us release date.
Come on, give us March.
Path of the Spirit Guide is a lonely one.
Okay, all right, still a release date. I'll
okay,
take
yeah,
it. Yeah, hell yeah.
Now
Okay,
let's settle in
dope.
for a stylish new look at Deathloop, a PS5 first-person
looks
shooter
so cool.
developed by the
Yeah.
team at Aken.
Holy shit. Yes, that looks great.
What?
You'll never, ever break
Speaking
this
of looking
There's
great,
no never here.
Yeah.
Just you, me, and the rest of these maniacs.
I am so excited
Bring it,
for
baby.
Deathloop.
Yeah. Me too. Me too.
This is Ramblin' Frank's Matinee. This little ditty goes out to the handsome asshole trying to break our loop. Colt, the visionaries are ready to dance. Are you?
Toxic illusion, falling deeper spiral tonight. Static delusion. This is where we do or die. And I've been here before, face to face with the gun. Up against all the odds.
I like how we just completely shut up for Arcane.
I know, right? Some people in the chat are probably happy about that. I love the style.
Oh.
Back again.
Stay still for like a second.
What the grenade?
Die already! You're doomed. Somebody's feeling feisty.
Oh, see ya, bye.
Dishonored and Bulletstorm, that's a good comparison part there.
I love this like 60s, 70s James Bond style too. Like,
Yeah.
Where you been hiding? Boy, do I got a bone to pick with you. Let's do it again tomorrow.
What to do when the bullet is the same, but the kill is always new.
Song's over, people. And so is Ramblin' Frank.
yo, I want that track on Spotify stat. Like, give it to me and give me this game.
I'm so excited. It's my most anticipated game of the year.
Is it?
Yeah,
Well, there you go. I'm glad we got to see it.
me too.
Before we leave, how about a huge update for one of 2020's most celebrated games?
Oh, bro, did I hit this? No, I didn't, but cool. I still love Final Fantasy. Damn it.
Cloud, quickly!
You're so close.
Oh, that's a mean little tease there.
Tifa! Help me!
I did love
It's pretty
this game.
cool.
Come on, let's push it
Yeah, this is cool.
Now it's my turn.
This game had some great combat. I really enjoyed it.
Did you beat it?
No,
Okay.
I'm not a big Final Fantasy guy, but I still wanted to try it out. And I had a lot of fun with the
Well,
combat
guys,
system.
your girl finally made it to Midgard.
New?
My name is Yuffie, Materia Hunter
Oh,
and Elite Special
snap.
Forces operative for the new Wutai government.
Okay.
We'll prove to our common enemy that Wutai is not to be trifled with. Members of Avalanche, we got this.
I'm back.
Ah, there you are. Someone's been expecting you. What took you?
Sorry about that.
Interesting.
Anyway, it's nice to meet you. I'm Sonon Kusakabe. Where's Clown?
We lost him.
You what?
He will be okay though, right?
Well, of course he will.
They're the ones who blew up the reactors.
Cool. Should we say hi?
No, better not. After what they've done, you gotta assume Shinra's on their tail.
Look, a Moogle! Stop!
We gotta help.
Is this DLC or?
Thanks, or like, yeah, like the next chapter type of thing. I am so curious to see how Yuffie plays. I know she's, we'll talk about it, but this is, I did not expect them to be giving us extra content in this. This is cool.
Me neither.
No freaking way!
Final Fantasy VII Remake, for people asking in chat.
Oh god, that combat's so good.
You guys should probably get moving.
Got it.
Whatever it is they're planning, you're better off out of it.
They deserve what's coming to them.
Yeah, they do. But I'm not your sister.
There you are.
Who are these jerks?
No clue. It just appeared.
Interesting.
Let the hunt begin.
Available 6/10. Okay. Wow.
June 10th. Okay,
absolutely didn't expect that.
Get down here, Merc.
So let's see.
Give us all the ray tracing.
Yeah. Oh, that lighting. I mean, this game was already gorgeous. I'm so excited to play on PS5.
Smoother frame rate.
We like Fog. Fog is good.
Yeah, Fog's great.
Fart Tony, which just makes me laugh every time. I didn't play this on PS4, but looks like I'm getting on PS5. Yeah, please, if you haven't tried this, don't be afraid of the Final Fantasy VII name. It is, I love this game.
Sick.
Love the loading times. Yo, if that's real, that's crazy.
Yeah, I think it is. Photo mode.
Nice.
That's cool.
Okay, so they're calling it an episode.
Alright. It seems like it's happening parallel to what's happening in the main story.
That's the vibe I was getting.
You see that?
That's how ninjas do it.
Yep.
Intergrade. Alright.
That was what I was waiting for. Perfect. Done deal. I'm there.
Sick.
I'm curious to see if PS4 people who own the PS4 games still have to pay for the.
That was the reveal of Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade,
But
coming to the PS5 console later this
Yeah,
year.
it seemed like it was included, but I could be wrong.
And that's our show. We hope you're as excited as we are for what's to come in 2021.
I think
See you
they
next
ended,
time.
I think they ended pretty strong. Well, fam, let's talk about it. Huh?
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Let's see.
You want to start the post show?
Yeah. So Chat, thank you for joining us. We're going to kick into the post show here. So if you'd like to hear us talk about how wrong we were on multiple occasions, here we go. So 1 second. Get into a place that we can jump in. Hello, friends. Welcome to the Sony State of Play post show where we discuss everything we saw. I'm Alex Stadnik. Join with me, Alex Van Aken. Hello, sir. How are you?
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. I am good. We just got done with the Sony State of Play. I think overall, pretty solid. I think we can go over some of the high level stuff, what we really enjoyed. But overall, I think we all have a tendency to overhype things in our heads. But I think they ended very strong, I would say.
I think so. We got a lot of updates for PS4 to PS5 transitions for games. Like Crash is in that mix. One of the bigger announcements was FF7, but we'll get to more of that in a second because there's more to that than just that. But I was pretty hyped to see like Kena Bridge of Spirits. Seeing gameplay for that finally, that was awesome. I think August they said.
Yep.
I am sold on that game now. I was always curious, like, okay, this game looks like a Pixar movie. What's it play like? Like, what's the actual moment-to-moment gameplay look like? And it looks like a really sick action game. But like, I feel like I'm gonna cry at the end of it. Or maybe multiple times throughout.
Possibly, yeah. I agree. I think they say it was Kena Bridge of Spies.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I gotta unlearn that.
Yeah, right.
Bridge of Spies, man, that's wild. Yeah, Kena
Bridge of Spirits. No spies, no Kena. I think was the strongest showing. I'm gonna be honest. Yeah. I kind of, not that I forgot about it, but it definitely wasn't one that I was thinking about when I was getting excited for what Sony was going to show. But that sold me. Because I thought it was going to be more minion based, like strategy, but it looks like there's a healthy amount of Horizon / Legend of Zelda-esque combat that looks
platforming,
really
puzzles maybe, like massive boss fights. Like that game looks really good.
And I'm hoping they committing to that August release date, I hope means they're pretty confident in that. I'd love to play that this year. And I think we thought we were going to get it last year, maybe I'm making that up. But
no, you're absolutely right. Yeah, I think it was supposed to be a launch title originally.
I think so.
And it got pushed back to I think like a spring window, and now it looks like it's coming out in August.
For sure.
So,
which if the news of that is that it's coming this year, I'm totally for it.
And it looks great.
Yeah.
But what are there any others that you were excited for?
Oh yeah. Well, excited for and God are two different things, but Returnal looks interesting. I'm not sold on that combat yet. I need to get it in my hands and see, but I really like the idea. I love the sci-fi style and alien-esque world that they're going for. So I'm definitely curious. And then Solar Ash was another big one.
Dude, that is probably Solar Ash and Kena were the top two for me. Solar Ash created by Heart Machine, the makers of Hyper Light Drifter. If you haven't played Hyper Light Drifter, go play Hyper Light Drifter, and then you'll understand. This game looks rad. They were talking all about like how movement and flow is the core focus of the game, and there's also these giant boss fights where you're riding in the sky and taking them down in the air, a la like Shadow the Colossus. But all of that is wrapped in this really interesting, almost like I would say sci-fi color palette. Lots of like pink and cyan hues and weird abstract characters, and it's all set within a black hole, they said.
Yeah, which is really wild. I love that. Yeah.
So it's like a massive open world platforming action. It looks awesome. And I don't think we got a release date on that one, but they did say later this year.
They said 2021, which is, a trend that we got a lot from, from the direct, from the State of Play as well. Yeah, I wasn't expecting, I guess I didn't know what to expect with this game when they showed it last year, right? I knew I was excited by the developer. I was excited by the first look at the style, but I love the idea of doing these giant Shadow of the Colossus-esque boss battles, and
Yeah.
mixed with that world, I think that's going to work really well, and I'm very, very excited about that.
Me too. Yeah, so keep an eye out, everybody. Solar Ash is
Yeah.
what that one was called.
Finally, let's talk about one of my bigger surprises of the show. In the pre-show, I talked about how I thought The Last of Us multiplayer / update is coming, and I thought I had it because the announcer read off now an update from one of 2020's most acclaimed games. I was like, oh, let's go. But it wasn't. It was Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade. And and I think my first reaction when I saw what it was like, okay, cool, we're getting the PS5 update. But they're adding another chapter, another episode with Yuffie, which I'm the Final Fantasy VII Remake was my first intro into the Final Fantasy series outside of like Kingdom Hearts. And that's exciting that we're getting new content with that. I think if it was just a PS5 upgrade, cool, but not something you end the show with, right?
Kind of expecting.
Yeah. Yuffie looks great. Like I love the high flying action that she's presenting. I don't know anything about the other characters. I'm sure there's people watching this stream who are banging their heads against their monitors. It's like, oh look, X, Y, and Z are in this. That's crazy.
Yeah. I recognize one of the side characters from the main game were part of her crew, but I didn't play the game enough to know there. And I think there's also some new side characters coming as well with Yuffie, but she's definitely like the star of the show.
Yeah.
And it seemed like her story, her episode is running parallel to Avalanche and what they're doing in the main game. So I'm interested to see like how they weave that story together, but it seems cool. Like it's more context for that story for Remake. And also on top of that, you're getting all of the quality of life improvements. Performance mode is coming, so you can get 60 FPS, or you can do quality mode, so you can get that 4K constant resolution.
Definitely.
On top of other, improvements like atmospheric fog and better lighting, all that fun stuff. So
for sure,
Final Fantasy fans got a lot to look forward to, I think.
Definitely. And I think without getting too much into the end of Final Fantasy VII, it's doing things that me as a relative newbie to the series, like I'm excited for what's coming in the future with this.
Yeah.
And this continues that story, because I knew Yuffie was a big part of this game and people love her, but that was just from Kingdom Hearts, you know what I mean? So I'm very curious to see how those webs continue to interweave. One more game I'd like to point out before we say goodbye.
Sifu?
Sifu. We can talk about Sifu as well.
Yeah, okay.
I was going to jump into Deathloop. But
Deathloop. Yeah, go for it. Deathloop is big.
Go with Sifu first.
Okay. Yeah, so Sifu is this really cool new martial arts game that premiered during the State of Play. Alex said that it kind of like one of the scenes that they showed off reminded him of the Daredevil hallway fight scene from season 1. If you've seen the show, you know what we're talking about.
Yep.
And I mentioned like during our stream that I felt like it reminded me of Absolver, which was that low poly fighting game that came out in 2017. I want to say didn't really live up to hype, but it had some interesting ideas. But the art style of Sifu kind of reminded me a little bit of that, but it's like more of like a gritty, pulpy kung fu movie. That's like the kind of the tone that I felt like it was giving, and it looks really cool. I'm very interested to see more of Sifu. I think it was developed by the studio. I think they're called Slow Clap.
Yeah, Slow Clap, which I'm unfamiliar with.
Me too. I think I've heard of them in passing, but third person action game, martial art, looks cool.
Yeah, for sure. And we'll find out more about that later. Deathloop just continues to kick butt. I love their James Bond like 60s 70s style of montage and like opening. At first when I heard them singing the word Deathloop, I was like, okay, whatever. But the style of that game is just so polished and so distinct, and I'm so here for it. The mix of aerial combat looks so great. I cannot wait for this game. I am so very excited to get my hands on it. I think this was a good look at it.
Of course, yeah. I'm stoked as a big fan of Dishonored 1 and 2. It's obviously the same creators, Arcane. But where I felt like I was kind of encouraged to be stealthy in Dishonored because of my tool set, it really seems like it's a similar approach to level design and stuff, but it's kind of the opposite. You're encouraged, you have all these cool guns, you're encouraged to kind of be like right up in the fray and get your hands dirty. And it looks really like a refreshing experience. So I'm excited.
For sure. Were you I think those hit the highlights. Were you a little disappointed by what we didn't see?
Yeah, a little bit. I think we were both expecting Ratchet and Clank to make an appearance, especially because they announced the release date earlier this week. So I felt like that was kind of a miss as far as like, I felt like it would have been a great opportunity to like double back on that announcement, even if it was like the same trailer, with a little new gameplay and be like, by the way, again, coming out this summer. But I guess our excitement got to us in that regard, let us down a little bit.
For sure.
But then I was hoping to see either a tease of Horizon 2, because that's supposed to be coming later this year.
Yep.
And then or this week on social, Insomniac was like tweeting a lot about Resistance, and I was like, there's a state of play this week. They're just tweeting about Resistance. Are we getting like a remaster or a reboot? What's going on
here?
Yeah, and that was not mentioned whatsoever. So
for sure.
Yeah, definitely a little twinges of disappointment. Right? Honestly, like seeing more Solar Ash, seeing Kenna Bridge of Spirits, like those two on top of like obviously Deathloop, Final Fantasy, like those two for me though, like really carried the experience and made it worth the watch for me.
Good.
I'm massively stoked on those games.
For sure.
So
I agree. I guess I wasn't super let down. I didn't have the highest of expectations in this. Not in a bad way, but like I wasn't like we're in February, in a COVID year. I know these developers have a lot more they want to show, but just can't because of the era we're in, So I felt satiated by what I saw. I want to see more from Little Nightmares, I do want to play more Little Nightmares too. But Little Devil Inside was one that I'm surprised that's missing. So I'm wondering how development is going on that.
We've seen that in almost every state of play, I think, since they've announced the PS5.
Or some mention of it, yeah.
It's been in some sizzle reel or whatever.
Yeah.
No mention of that.
Yeah, so I'm anxious to hear more from those devs.
It's supposed to be coming out in July too, so I'm curious. I'm like, okay. Yeah, we've got there's plenty of time for them to show it off, but
for sure.
I thought that would have been a slam dunk.
And I wouldn't be necessarily worried if we hit June and we haven't seen anything from Ratchet, let's say, then I think you can start to worry if it's going to hit that date. If we get to June and Horizon, we still just get like a cinematic trailer, like then we can start to worry about delays. But we don't know what we don't know, and we just hope that all the developers out there are staying safe and not killing themselves trying to make these games. And
we can wait.
Yeah, exactly. But would I've liked to see more from Horizon and Ratchet? Yeah, 100%. I'm super excited about both those games. And like I said, I guess that is the one prediction I got right, was that we wouldn't see a peep from God of War. But so we'll see. There's still a lot to be excited about. If you're a PlayStation fan, there's still a lot coming. We'll see what that looks like as the months continue.
Yeah.
But I think there was some good stuff here. So.
Me too.
Mr. Van Aken, what a good day of streaming it has been.
It has.
I thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it. Chat.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for your time. We love doing these streams. We hope you enjoy it as well. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe over at youtube.com/GameInformer. Go check out GameInformer.com. We have some really great stuff on our cover this month was Mass Effect, and we have some really, really great written work on that. And I think that's all I got. So
I think that's it.
All right, friends. Be good to one another. Take care of each other. take care of yourselves and have a good rest of the day. We'll see you next time.
Bye, y'all.